Good day everybody, Wilke van Boxtel here, New Energy on the Dukascopy Community, and I'm here for TradeReact with the weekly market review 18 till 22 of April 2016. I'm gonna look at some forex pairs, gold, oil and S&P. Here is the disclaimer: trading is risky, always manage your size and risk. You can pause the video if you want to read it. Let's get into the screen with me aboard. Hello, hope you had a great weekend. Let me know, connect on social media. I will show you my profiles in the end, or look me up, New Energy and NUNRG or Wilke van Boxtel, TradeReact. And I also give webinars during the week. You have to look at Facebook, TradeReact, or at the Dukascopy live webinar TV, for where New Energy is on the agenda. So looking here on Monday, Kiwi, CPI, gonna highlight the most important news. There is pretty much this week, beginning of the week, Tuesday, the Aussie, the Euro, German Zoo, more Aussie news. So in the beginning seems to be some Aussie news. They're gonna be interesting. Bank of England also speakers, Canada speakers, so Tuesday is a filled day. Interesting. Wednesday, the pound, average earnings index, claimant counts. So we got some Aussie pairs we're gonna look at, pound. Thursday, more Aussie, more pound, also some Euro news. Okay, cool. Press conference, minimum bid rate. And then Friday, core CPI of the Canada. So let's start with the Aussie pair to look at. Euro Aussie I was looking at here, but let's take the Aussie US Dollar. Here we are at the 8-hour chart, but let's start with the zoomed out view. We've been moving lower on this pair. Below the 200 MA, very much lower on the 200 MA, and recovered a whole bit here, and now we're in a kind of a bull flag here with higher prices. There was a high candle here, a low, a high, a low, a high, and perhaps we get a low again. We'll have to see. This is from some other chart. Let me get rid of some things. Weekly, zoom back to the daily. Let's measure this FIB again. We got here, we started on the lows here after this choppy range. Here is the actual first retracement, so that's why we put it there. That tipped the 38 level around 0.74.2ish, and then it moved up and got into the flag formation. We're still in an uptrend, reaching into the highs here. Here we had some valid reversal candles. Here not yet, ending the week in a bullish candle. So possibly beginning of the week a stronger push and then a reversal. Let's check it on the lower time frame. Here's what you see. Same price action. Price moving higher. we can measure the flag baseball. We see we got some tested here on the light blue line, 0.74.7, and a test on the high, and it makes it ranging, also with the blue line here around 0.7730-ish. So that makes it ranging. Still looking for a reversal here. 1, 2, third time. We have to see, or if it breaks out. Preferring the retrace for a better entry again against the lows here around perhaps the 38 level, between the 38 and the 50. Draw in the box there. That zone to go long. But if we just keep breaking out here, making higher highs, we can also possibly have a short retracement into the dynamic area and then higher into the target of 0.7840, and then a reversal from there. I'll remove this vertical line. So I look now for a turnaround price action below the R2 here, 0.7760 almost, into here, 0.7550, or slightly higher for a move up high for 270 pips, or a breakout here. Then it's harder to jump aboard because we're already moved a whole way. And I look for possible reversals here, 0.7850 area back down, possibly just here, tipping the bull flag and go higher, or possibly all the way down, but we have to see that. That is for now it on the Aussie US dollar. Hope that helps. Let's check next. Here's some pound news. So let's look at the pound pair. And if you want to know more, you have to join my live webinars this week for more insights, in-depth trading setups, levels that are interesting, and to be able to ask your questions. You can always put them in my blog as a comment or below the video, of course. Don't forget to mention me, else I won't see it as good. Pound US dollar. That has been ranging, because I've been looking at the pound against the Aussie, for example, or the pound Kiwi, because those tend to trend nicer against the pound at the moment. But let's, for a change, look at the pound US dollar. I haven't looked at it, you see it's pretty blank. So let's have an outlook on that. Also moving down since 2014, 15, trending lower, had some ranging actions. Which you can see when you connect some of the tops. You see real deep steep it took there. Let's look in the daily. We can check the monthly real quick. Coming in some lows, it is at some lows. Extremes came in around here, 144.7 So 140.50 almost. And really steep lows here. Yeah, 2 levels actually. We would put one there and one here. Now let's switch back into the daily. You see we're in that flag. Let's put a fib, not a fan arc, maybe next time. A fib. Let's try to move this 2014 down and see where we end up. Move down, move down, move down, move down, retraced. Although it was a slight retrace here on the 38 level, 165, it was a test. And then it finished its range here around the 153. And you see price crossed below it, tested it, and ranged around that area and crossed above again. And now moving lower. So that's kind of interesting. If you put our low here and the high here, it was a bit invalidated because the prices went above here. But as price continued lower, let's look at the projected downside that has been met. You see here on the 139, that's the 61.8 extension. So yeah, where we go from here? Possible bounce, but it's struggling in that bear flag. So that's why a lot of people are holding off on this pound US dollar, because they need to see clearance of this flag position, break to the upside or to the downside for some confirmation of direction, because all targets have been reached. So interesting now is to put it down here on the swing low and on the highest high after that, all the break and the price action. Then we get some 38 retracement level up to 146.40 for a possible move to the upside. That's 430 pips away. And we had a slight test here on the 38, so to the downside. There are two opportunities here because price is undecided. To the downside we have price all the way down here into 125.50 of an extension lower on a touch of this 38. And you see that's across all of those support lines of really yearly. So that would make all time, well, at least since 2008, a new low if that happens. And I think that only can be broken by a Brexit strategy. Like if it really is going to happen, then we might see that drop off, but then again, watching this retracement on the 38 and this as a base, then we won't go lower. So it's at critical area. We see it moving around. Let's zoom a bit further in the daily. We've possibly seen this drop off. rejecting the blue lines, you see. So that target's still lower. Targets first into 137. So as it's a bear flag, bearish, I still prefer the down target. Some people can see a shoulder, a head and a shoulder in it, so that's actually where price is now, in a bit of a range, 100 pip range, where it needs to break out to the downside to have that target, 460 pips. Let's switch to the 8 hour. And here you see that price basing out. Would you have a real good setup here? No, prices go real steep. So depending on your risk and your size management, you can sell the highs and buy the bottoms here. It has been working the last over the past times for 400 pips up, 400 down, 380, 340, and now it fell around to 200. So that might signal more downside, as it didn't close above that 50% anymore, 120, 42, 50-ish. Sorry. So yeah, I look to the downside, perhaps staying below that 50% level, or even a retest here. Also, price below the weekly pivot might mean a sell-off into that 137-ish level, or slight above on this trend line. As you see, it broke below here also. It can also happen here. Quick look on the 4 hour. On the 2 hour, becomes a bit unclear maybe. So what can we do? Look on this recent drop. Get our fips in. We see a retracement up into the 50%. 42.20. So we might look for a break here below 141, as it stayed also above below the 142, and sell into that lower area. Of course, keep in mind those lows, but yeah, it would be a nice setup to watch, and then you can watch that possibly onto the 2 hour time frame. Or 1 hour. 15 minutes becomes a bit unclear, so I would keep it on the 1 hour or 2 hour for some confirmation setups here, and then trade it lower. That's the view on the pound US dollar. I hope it helps. Canada news also upcoming, in Euro news. So let's look at dollar CAD. And then the Euro USD perhaps, and the oil, gold and S&P. The weekly dollar CAD. Let's look at that. Let's look if I got it clearer here. Not really, dollar CAD. Oh yes, let's use this one. Kind of a monthly horizontal level. where price dipped low here, 12 October. Seeing that good on the daily. Price closed below it. Let's look at the 8 hour. And it's now struggling a bit around that area. I've drawn in this fib, test is on the blues and on the reds. Had hit his target around here. And now it has been ranging. Still preferring the sell. Perhaps we can draw some trend line more like this now to look for a break. And we can move our fib let's do it from this level to this level. You see again it touched the blue area around 131.80. Meaning we would have a near target for 126.60. That is so 160 pips off. So I would focus on the downside as it's below this monthly weekly line. And it closed below it also last week. So a break on this line. Zoom back, perhaps on the 2 hour even. As you can see here. We can have some break out of this tight range and this bull line. We have that nice target to the downside. So that's what I look for on the dollar CAD. Hope that helps. Switch to the Euro US Dollar. On the monthly. Look at that. Been ranging all the time. We've got some big levels in there. Not sure is that that's for this one. I draw it near the recent highs here. That's true. That's what I did. So it touched that on a really bullish candle, but it's still struggling there. As you see, it dropped off lower below that area. So although it looked strong, we might see another drop off. Might look at some extra horizontal lines. Perhaps one here. One here. And one near the lows. And then zoom into the daily. To see those lines come in play. One here around 110, one around 108. Eight hour. Price moving down. It has another 180 pips to go to the downside. Let's measure some down move. This one has been completed, but still below it. So measuring that, we might look for a continuation lower, retrace up even into 113.80 for a sell down. Unless it breaks some momentum to the upside, of course. Always monitor the candles forming and the levels in place to look for some slowdowns of some turnaround candles around areas of interest. So now we can be on this 2 hour, on this 8 hour trend down. Let's look on the 2 hour, 4 hour perhaps. Yes. So the setup is a bit hard on this pair. But as it broke here on the 8 hours, now down. A retest here might be good for a sell off into that 110 for 170 pips. So I'll monitor the start of the week, see if we can sell this. And that is it for now on the Euro US dollar. Questions, put them in the chat or below the video. Light crude. Let's check the other chart. Light crude. Daily. Weekly. As you can see, we've crossed that weekly trend line, closed above, retest and went higher. Price is a bit rejecting there. We're still looking for this 44.2 to be reached to the upside. So that stays in place, probably as long as it stays above the weekly pivot that forms on a new week. So keep an eye on that. You will see it when you look on the 8 hour chart. I think this is the last week pivot, so look for the new pivot shaping up when the markets open. As long price stays above that, we can look for longs, I think. We're still in that fib setup for the target to be reached. 44.2, and then it can sell off deeper. But for now, I expect a bit of continuation to the upside. There was some speculation news on the oil prices in Saudi Arabia and Iran, how much they have in stock, etc., and produce. So that might influence this light crude this week, starting even from Monday. So if we see they stay holding the production and bumping it up, then yeah, we might see a drop off immediately. But also keep in mind, I prefer this target to the upside to be reached before it drops. So that is the most important thing for the upcoming week still to happen. I'm going a bit quick because I'm already almost in 30 minutes. So I want to keep it a bit more short for you. Of course, you can skip a bit through. Let's look at gold. I put in a lot of lines here, not for an exact strategy, but just for some structure analysis. I can show you here the weekly also. A bit like oil, it crossed a weekly trend line to the upside, meet the 200 EMA, rejected and is now ranging up again. Targets are up to the 1360 if it breaks out to the range. So we are looking bullish here. It's still flagging around here. So we said possible retracement even up here for another retest, or here we have a real short-term fib for a target on 12.11 and then a move higher from here. So we have to watch on an intraday basis how this shapes up, and that's why I draw in some of these lines. But you can see it's pressed below this line, pressed up. So possible retest, as I said here, against the lows wouldn't be so bad for another long. So we're still 2000 points, pips away from it on this CFD product. So yeah, I would also monitor on this pair the weekly pivot to shape and then trade from there based upon this these levels. So I hope that helps. A last view on the S&P, then I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna need another chart for that with my lines. Here we go. We have this trend line on the monthly where it has been tested last week. Now it's selling off a bit. Still have targets beyond the monthly lines, keep them in place. Like the 2114 level. That is the most obvious one at the moment. And now we can be retracing from those boxes I've drawn. Would look for a possible retest here down to the 2066 or 2070 for a move higher through that level or a retest. If we see retracing, we can get some more, I would almost say boring, but flaggish price action. And then we have to see where it goes from there. Still looking for longs, even if it tests the lows. Let me see if I can drag that. There you have a sort of channel it broke out, and this retest would mean a test off a channel and then move higher. So it's risky at the moment because that's monthly highs, but we get flip targets to the upside. So looking for again weekly pivot, retracement into this area, look for some opportunities there to go long. For 5,000 points, pips, I guess that's 500 points or something like that. Or other price projections with the trend MA moving up sideways. Look for that also from 8-hour chart. And you can go as low as 2 hours for trading setups. So I hope that helps. And I will now show you the social page where you can find TradeReact. For more webinar announcements this week, trading news, reply, comment and like, leave a message, and I hope to see you in my webinars. Have a great trading week and see you again next time. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.